Welcome to Joe Blow.
Real, raw, unfiltered conversations with everyday legends who've got extraordinary stories to tell. Let's get it.
Welcome to Joe Blow.
Okay, welcome episode 5 of Joe Blow. Apparently I'm Blow and he's...
Why is it called Joe Blow?
Good question, Emerson. Well, you know what?
great-
That's a great segue.
Who's
We
Joe?
wanted to interview... he's become Joe and I've become Blow. I don't know. I'm not
No,
saying
I know
anything.
this.
Let's keep it PG. Our idea was we wanted to talk to just ordinary people walking around in coffee shops, service stations that we just called Joe Blows, who everyone I think has really amazing stories. Like even though you're 19, you have an amazing story to tell. And I think there's so many people out there that have these stories that you don't hear about. All you hear about is all the big famous people. How did you make it? You know, how did you make $1 billion? How did you do that? But we've spoken to so many people that have stories to tell. And you could tell a story that someone could listen to and go, oh, I can relate to that. That's how I can help myself. He did it. I can do it. They can relate more to Joe Blows than I think. Sometimes when you hear stories from big famous people, I find people go, oh, it's just because they're lucky.
Yeah.
You know, that's Brad Pitt. I'm not Brad Pitt, or that's so-and-so. So I've just,
Yeah.
I actually mentioned it to Chloe and I said,
I don't know what's going on. I don't understand it still.
Joe,
So we
you
just want
probably
an
don't know the
ordinary-
saying
which-
Joe
yeah.
Blow. Do you know the saying Joe Blow?
No.
Well, that's probably why.
Oh,
There's a
okay,
saying
yeah,
like
yeah,
called "You're a Joe Blow." Joe Blow is like an ordinary person,
Oh.
like you, Bree, anyone,
Oh,
us.
Now I get it.
Yeah,
Now-
yeah.
yeah.
That's why he looked a bit confused. He's like, "Who the hell's Joe Blow?"
Yeah, I was like, man, can you explain that thing properly, mate?
And then I didn't realise he didn't know what it meant.
Yeah, but talking to him here.
Yeah, so we thought. I thought a bit controversial to get your son in here, but you have a great story to tell. And I guess also I want to learn a bit about the story. So
Yeah,
It's-
I don't
it's-
know. I don't really know much about you too, Em. So this is pretty exciting for me as well.
Yeah.
yeah. So I guess let's start with your life today. Are you happy?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Why are you happy? What are some highlights in your life at the moment?
Got a beautiful girlfriend. Got a good job. Got a healthy lifestyle. Back in the gym. But it's more so to compare what I was doing like a year ago. Like it was a completely different lifestyle. I was on and off with gym. Didn't know where I was going in with my life. Like it was just, it's more so the comparison of from a year to now. So yeah.
So if you let's rewind back to a year ago. So a year ago you were heavily addicted to weed.
Yeah.
I remember the days with the red eyes, and it was hard work as a dad.
Yeah.
So take me right back to how do you go from, and I have some amazing. This kid's was an athlete, like was good at everything. I got this cross country story.
Yeah.
He was in prep and I was doing triathlons. And just to give you some sort of context to where he went to and where he ended up, he came to me at age whatever in prep and he said, Dad, I want to win the cross country. I was like, oh. So I got him on a treadmill like Hitler every morning for 10 minutes, just treadmill. He just said, I want to win. I said, if you want to win, you're going to have to train hard. He never missed a training session and he went berserk, gets to prep and he wins the cross country. Anyway, this went on for 6 years. He was undefeated cross-country champion. And every year he would train. There was kids that would come from other schools to take Emerson on.
Oh,
And there was this one year in grade 5, this kid had come and he was talking it up. I'll win the cross-country. And he trained even harder. We would go out and we'd run the course and I would tell him, there's a hill here. Get to this hill. He's going to be hurting, but you have to go really hard on this hill and you'll break him. And it
I
happened.
literally remember that as well. I remember you telling me that.
What happened? Was Dad too hard on you?
Yeah.
Did he train you too hard that you just
Yeah.
got sick of running?
Yeah.
No, but we
So-
got that. We got into this race, and they're head to head, 100 meters to go. This cross country, they're head to head like this. Crowd's going berserk because he'd been undefeated for 5 years, and this kid had come in. They were running down the straight, and it gets to about 40 meters to go. I'm screaming, trying to trip this other kid over. No, and this kid pushes Emerson. Like he pushes him during the straight. Emerson loses his balance, and the kid gets ahead, and this kid just finds something and just digs deep, and he wins. Everyone's going berserk. So we have this kid that's an amazing athlete, like AFL, everything he touched, soccer, he was good. And then how do you go from all of that being like the smartest kid in school, amazing at sport?
Okay, I wouldn't say smart at school.
Okay.
Average at school, but
No, you were a
good
smart
athlete.
kid, but you just didn't
Yeah.
work hard.
Yeah.
So how did you first get the first taste of weed?
It was, I don't know. It just started off as like something fun to do with your mates. It was like first time trying. You try it, and then everything's funny at the time, and then it came a thing to do here and there, just to have a little bit of fun, and then it kind of was there to fulfill the boredom, and then it kind of just got stuck in my routine, and then it just got in my routine. It just came a normal thing in life, like going to gym, and it just came a normal thing. Like if I was bored laying in bed, I wouldn't think, oh, let's go to the gym. I'd be like, I don't know,
How many times a week?
every
would you-
day. Like
Oh.
it used to, it got to, at the start, obviously not, but it got to a point where I was doing it every single day. Like it got pretty bad at one point where, I was smoking a lot. And that's why I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to lay in bed and couldn't be bothered with work, and
What do you mean by the boredom?
well, it's just same as everyone. Like when you get bored. Just
No, but
in
why?
general,
What were you bored of?
doing nothing. I just felt like I was also I don't know how to say it. Just laying in bed. Like if I was laying in bed, I was doing nothing. Like I'd rather at least, as bad as it sounds at the time, but at the time it seemed normal. Like just laying in bed on my phone.
So I'm trying to understand. When you say boredom, were you bored of life at that point in time? Like bored of school, bored of the fact that you weren't. I noticed you stopped getting chosen for the A grade teams, and you were like the B and C grade teams for volleyball and soccer. And what do you mean by boredom? Were
Well-
you bored of life?
Yeah, kinda. Like even with the soccer, I remember I wasn't the best in the team, but I ended up getting to the first, which is pretty hard, the first level of soccer in our school. And I remember I just couldn't be bothered with training. I didn't go to training, and then I think I don't even know if I got kicked out or not. And then I just decided, oh, I can't be bothered. I'm just gonna play the force and have a bit of fun, which it's okay because it was my last year. I'm gonna have some fun, but yeah, I don't know.
So what did it look like at its peak, smoking? What did a day look like? Were you doing it 10 times a day, 5 times?
Well, it's not like you're just doing it if it was a weekend, it's not I don't think I was really ever they call it wake and bake, where you wake up and you smoke. I was never really like that. Here and there I would have done it, but it was never a day-to-day thing of waking up smoking. I do something with my day, even if that would be sitting on Xbox or on my phone doing still nothing, but it was more so to the afternoon to the night that I would probably go to my mates and smoke, and it was literally I look back and I'm like, how did I do that? I literally just sat there, did nothing. I literally just sat there on my phone, and it wasn't even really any speaking or anything. It was just, and you just plan as the day goes, see if any other mates want to hang out, and then you keep doing it, and then gets to it depends. It was never 5 a.m., but it got to 3 a.m., and then you just go home. And I was driving, as bad as that sounds, but hopefully no cops see this.
Did you, was it more to do with the people you were hanging out with?
Oh, 100%.
Because I noticed, I mean, back then your friend circle changed from people
Yeah.
that were athletes and all that
Yeah.
to just fucking deadbeats. Yeah, no,
No,
yeah, like
no,
hanging around
yeah.
people that were just very
Um,
different. I just noticed the crowd that would come in and out of my place was, you know, it was. I'm not going to mention names, but there was all these guys that were fit and they were playing A grade and all that sort of stuff. And
Yeah.
all of a sudden, the clientele.
Yeah, like I think that's the biggest thing with it all is your people around you. Like it's said so much these days. But I think that's the biggest thing that I've learned is just having a good circle of people, even if they're not bloody millionaires and stuff like that. Like just a good group of people that know what they want to do with their life and they're not just sitting in the back of the house.
No
smoking.
Kiwis.
How did it feel for you, boss? As a dad, you get to see your son, you see your baby.
Because I remember
and
this
yeah.
one time, I was in my room. I think you would remember, and you walked in on me and my mate smoking,
Mm.
and I think you didn't know how to react.
Mm.
You walked in, you were like, oh, and then you're like, I'm going to bed. Light it up or something, and I was like, oh, but I think it's because you didn't know how to react. You're like, oh shit.
It was.
Yeah.
Oh, look, it's hard because I've done all that stuff and more, and it's almost difficult. You feel like a bit of a hypocrite.
Mm.
I can't go stop taking drugs.
Yeah.
It was really hard because also I saw this kid change
Yeah.
from a really positive, out there kid to just the word deadbeat is harsh,
Yeah.
but to a kid that was just had no energy, couldn't give a fuck, dirty, unmotivated, and just like, where's my son gone? And how long's this going to go for?
Yeah, because I remember, I think it was, it could have been mum, and she was like, oh, like, or I don't know who was worrying, but someone was like, oh, it's just a phase, like he'll get out of it, and then it went for another 2 years, and you're like, oh, fuck.
Well, yeah. Well, I spoke to my shrink about it, and she was of the opinion that you can help them give up, but 95 out of 100 that don't really want to give up, they give up, but they end up back on it.
Yeah.
Like she was so adamant, they have to want to give up.
Do it for themselves. Not
It's
for-
just
yeah.
so, I mean, it sounds so simple, but it was really difficult. Yeah, I found it hard because I knew when he was doing it.
Yeah.
Because his bedroom stank of weed, and he would come out and he'd like,
Yeah.
and I'd go, "What's going on here?"
Mm.
And yeah, it was difficult. I probably, as a dad, I probably should have been a lot harsher.
If you were to
stricter.
go back to that moment where you walked into M and his mate lighting it up, what would you have said? Say now. What would you have said to M?
I think I should have been harder and stricter.
Yeah.
But I've had my own inner battles with, I don't want to become like my father.
Yep.
So I've always tried to, I don't want my kids to not want to contact me or not see me. And sometimes I have that battle with my dad because he's sort of moved on and had a different life. So I think I battled those demons a little bit, which I shouldn't have. Because I think, yeah.
But I think there's a way around that, like being harsher, but in a better way. Like it's like I was, as you said, like a deadbeat at one point, and like to get me, you're just being caring at that point. It's not being like I'm sure now I'm thankful for you guys that helped me to get out of there. Like were you talking about your like psychologist or what are you,
yeah.
was that Joe or
Yeah, the
was
one
it-
you, no, Joe was.
Because I had Joe, she was really good. She like helped me a lot because she knew it was weird. She was like she knew when I was smoking. Like I was like at one point I remember I was telling Mum, I was like, no, I'm not doing it anymore, and I was. And Joe, just when she was there, I was sitting there, and she just was like, Em, is there anything you need to tell us? Like, Mum can leave the room, and I was just like, I just she was really good. Like she just knew when something was up, but.
Did you feel like Did you ever, in the middle of it all, because it was during school as well, and we'd obviously gone in there and the teachers had pulled you aside 50 times because you were just doing fuck all at school and
Yeah.
all your marks were spiraling.
Yeah.
And there's some more juicy stuff to come. But did you ever, in the middle of it all, did you ever sit there and go, what the fuck am I doing? What, my life is falling apart? Or are you just so caught up in the weed that it's all just fun and games and you don't care?
No, there was a lot of points where like you'd like wake up, like this is here and there. Like, and yeah, most days were just like, oh, I don't give a fuck. But like there was points where you're like, oh, like I actually need to like get on with my life and do something. Like you'd always have, like with your mates, you always have that thing. And you're like, oh, we're gonna quit soon. We're gonna quit soon. And then you just never did.
So how does that conversation go with each other? Do you guys sit there, smoke a joint? Do you guys smoke
Then
however
whatever.
you smoke it?
Yeah.
And then do you guys talk with each other and go, what are we doing? This is no good.
Well, it's too like normal at that point. Like at the start, even like at the start, it's just like, oh, like we're gonna have fun. Like it's like having a drink on a night out. Like it's just fun. You do it like here and there. It's not like an everyday thing. And then it just time went so quick, and it's just like an everyday thing, and like you just think it's normal, like, and then I don't know, it just became a normal thing.
When was the last time you tried?
This morning
Probably like, yeah,
on the way here.
yeah, on the way here. No, like I think it's nearly a year now because I think it was July
That's awesome, man.
that or June or July that I quit. So it's been quite a bit now, yeah.
It's so funny, or not funny, but it's so like I remember a year ago or back, and the old man was always telling me he's like, oh yeah, trying to talk to him, but he's just smiling at me and stuff like that. But I fast forward to the time we went to golf M, and
Yeah.
man, and I remember just seeing. I remember I was with M and we were playing golf.
Was he
at this
smoking
time.
then? Or?
No, M was like proper, and we had the best time that day. Remember, we were smashing the golf balls
that
and
was
stuff
good.
like that.
No, that was really good.
Such a good day. And I remember going to the old man. I remember when going to the boss, I was like, bro, M's the man. M's a great kid, good kid. He was supporting you. We're going hard out, high fives. And he was just like, oh, he's massive change. He's changed and stuff like that. What was the moment for you
That changed it.
that just
Really?
fully flipped? Because you're such a great kid, Em.
Obviously, I'm always gonna remember. So, you mean the change from when like the day that I decided that I'm done with that life?
Yeah, because the old man told me that you were a deadbeat, obviously, because you did this, like he's saying now. But and then we went and caught up, and we went and
Yeah.
played this golf tournament, and I'm just like, mate, you're a bit harsh on your kid, because the only M that I know
Yeah.
is this friggin' bright kid. He's like happy, like me and you were both giving him crap, That's,
Yeah.
Like, what was the
yeah,
low
what
point, I
was-
guess?
yeah,
What was the low point
that
where you
made
just went,
yeah.
this has got to stop?
Well, no, it was, I don't know. I think Mum would have told you. It was that one night where I went to do it. I went to smoke. This was, I think, literally like June or something. And I went there, and the whole way I was like, oh, nah. Like that's actually when I was like, nah, I need to like start doing shit with my life. And I was still confused. Like I was like, I'm actually getting sick of this now. Like it's just such a shit life. And then I went to do it, and I was actually driving, about to go on the highway to grab. So the whole story, the start, I came from Mum's. I left my phone in the cupboard because she had my location. I snuck out through the back door, went into the car, picked up my mate. We were on our way to get my phone, and then we would go to, I don't know, the Porio, just to park. And then I was about to go on the highway, and then something in me, I was like, nah, I can't do this. Dropped him home, said, nah, sorry, I was like, this isn't going to be the last time. And then came back home, all the lights are on, Mum's car's not in the driveway. I know what's happening. Like, I know she's stressing, she's trying to find me, and then I'm like stressing. I walk out to the road, and Krennic comes down, and I'm like, stop, and I'm like, oh, I'm dead. I'm like, my mum's, I'm pretty sure she knows what's up. my phone wasn't there also, so I'm like, okay, she has my phone also. And then I call mum, she's bawling her eyes out. She's like, pretty much thought I've necked myself, like literally killed myself while she thought I locked my door, and then she was trying to kick my door down. Even Steve was trying to kick my door down, and then they walked out to the front to see if my car was here, and then they saw that the back door had a little bit of like opening to it, so they knew I snuck out, and then she thought again that I've gone to jump off a bridge or something. But then I called her, and she's crying, and I'm like, I'm fine. And then pretty much I told her what happened. And yeah, it was like literally like got to a point where it was just so stressful, and so like looking at mum, like seeing her like that, that was when I was like, nah, I can't do this. Like this is pathetic. Like you're putting yourself through so much, yet you're putting more so your family. Like the thing is, it's such a small thing, weed. Like it's just a little, it's just like a leaf. It's like a leaf, and yet it impacts your life so much, like so quickly. Like your life, like I didn't want to go to work. Like you said, I was very what's it called, motivated with life. Like I was going gym at one point. I was always on and off with jobs, but just because it was fast food. But like at school, I was like, if I studied, I was actually not bad. Like I remember at one point in year 11, I was getting like B's and like A's, and I was actually doing well, and then just dropped off after that. And it's just, it impacts yourself, your health, the way of you, like your day of living, and then it impacts your whole family. Like seeing, like you said, seeing like your son like that, it's just like a crazy switch, because you know the person I was before.
Did you
I
ever
smoke.
battle mentally? Like, say when you're going through it, was it like say was smoking weed a little get out?
Yeah. Like that's the thing. At one point, because I quit for about 2 months, I remember. I quit for about 2 months. Before the 2 months, it was just like a boredom thing. Like, it was that. And then after that, I wanted to get back on it because I had really bad anxiety. And after those 2 months, that's when it got really bad, because I relied on it for my mental health. So that's why it was really bad at one point, because I would just be anxious, I'd smoke, and it'd be fine. It was like, because it worked so well, I was like, I'm just going to keep doing it and I'll be fine. And then it just got worse because I do more, because my tolerance got higher. So I'd be smoking more per day, and it just got worse and worse.
Where did you mentioned anxiety? Where was that from? Where'd that stem from?
Mum, probably. Overthinking. I just overthought everything. Like it was just stupid. I can't even put it into words. It wasn't even like a anxiety about things. It was just, I just had really bad anxiety just from bloody living life. I don't know. Maybe it was from smoking before, but it wasn't from like a whole situation. Like I still have anxiety today, but like Bree helps me out. Like, yeah, good job, buddy.
So, at the peak of your weed power,
Weed power, shit.
someone got expelled from school.
No, I got asked. I didn't get to go to graduation.
Yeah,
I graduated, but
So take us through why that happened and what happened.
yeah. So there was on my birthday. I went to school. I had one of my exams, because I was on exam, or whatever exam block. It was my last few exams, ATAR, whatever, and I was like, I'm gonna get like a THC, those like pens, like weed pens, not like not like an actual joint. And then, so went into this bathroom, and then I didn't know it was a staff bathroom, and then I'm like picking one, and then a teacher walks in. I quickly put it behind my back, and I just put my head down, walk out. And then this teacher's just yelling this other kid's name, so I'm like, I'm fine. Like he knows me.
So hang on. So someone at the school was selling the weed
Yeah.
pens.
Yeah,
A student,
yeah.
and you.
He got expelled. He was the one who got actually
You
expelled.
went. I thought the story was that you were buying weed from the toilets at a certain school.
What?
That's what I heard.
What?
No?
That I was buying weed?
From the toilets.
No,
at the
well,
school?
it's the same thing. THC pen, weed pen.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
okay.
like that's. But it was in a staff toilet. I didn't even know that.
Oh, in
and
a
then,
staff toilet. Okay,
yeah, so that's if I would have been fined in any. Well, as bad as it sounds, but still. And then pretty much like a week or two went by because I didn't have any exams, so I wasn't at school at all. Sorry. And then when I went to my like last exam, one of my last exams, and I see my head of year there, and I'm like, oh, okay. I literally forgot about it because I was like, oh, it's been 2 weeks. They would have contacted me by now if anything was happening. And then he comes up to me. He's like, oh, I need to see you after your last exam today, which was at the very end of the day. And to be honest, I'm lucky because I planned. I was like, I'm gonna get to this last exam and just because I didn't have any other exams after this. So I was like, I'll be.
You were going to
fine.
get stoned, were you?
No, I was just gonna like leave my exam. Like I was just
Oh.
gonna like at the very end of my exam just gap it and go home, and then pretty much I'm in the end of my exam and I look to my left and he's sitting right there and I'm like, and I was just like, well, I just gotta. Oh no, it was actually it was bad because in between one of my exams, like this was after he spoke saying I want to need to speak to you after. I'm speaking to these guys and the guy who sold it to me, they're like, oh yeah, he got expelled, and I'm like, oh fuck, I'm dead, like I'm goners. And then pretty much he pulled me aside. He's like, do you know why I'm here? I don't remember what I said if I admitted to it, but I think I did. I think I was like, yeah, I do. Like, and then I made up this whole story. It was about a vape, and then they apparently found out that it was THC. And then yeah, pretty much they tried to call you, didn't pick up. I went home, and then I think I was at yours, and you were like, what the fuck have you done?
Yeah, no, your mum called me and she was hysterical. And she was, Emerson's been expelled. He can't go to graduation. The last week he was buying weed in the toilet. And then you came home and she came over and was crying hysterically. Because I feel like that was a slight turning point. Because the other thing is, so were you smoking all the way during your final exams?
Yeah,
Is that why you've never ever checked your score?
I've checked it.
Have you?
Yeah, I've checked it. I'm not telling anyone though.
Why not?
It's bad. It's really bad.
So,
Welcome to my world, man.
yeah.
I never done any exams, but
School of Hard Knocks. But so the smoking the weed and everything just killed all that, didn't it? Because you were never you were never studying. If you was an exam on weed, you probably would have.
Yeah,
got
because even
an
before
A.
that, I was like, oh, like even like before smoking, I was all about, oh, like you don't need school. I think you guys put it in my head a lot because you guys didn't really need school. Like you guys have just been successful, and like you put it in my head that, oh, you don't need school to, like earn like a lot of money or get into a good like job and stuff. So that was already in my head, and then when I started smoking. Because when you smoke, you don't care. Like it's just literally you just don't care. So it got to a point where it was like a steroid to push like that thought more into my head. Like I just didn't care. I was like, I didn't study for any of those exams.
was there a lot of pressure for mum and dad?
Oh, I don't know. They have to tell me. I don't know. I never like even without weed, I wasn't really like I was never really a school kid. To be honest, I think you can agree. I was never really a massive school person. I loved all the sport. I was all into that. Like I was like an average. Like I would pass and everything. But you could tell. Like I just spiraled down. Like I was getting D's and I just wasn't. I wasn't passing. Like there was a few here and there, like drama and stuff. Because I did like acting and that. I had that whole dream of like wanting to become an actor. I think we all did. But yeah,
Don't worry, your
his
dad does it
dream's
every
still
day.
going.
What was it when you were getting off the weed? What was it like? Was it like a massive detox? Like, did you
Yeah.
actually have? How did you get through cravings? What did it feel like?
Well,
First few weeks.
there wasn't withdrawals. Like that's the weird thing. That's what you said about your like people around you. It was so weird because I wasn't like I was addicted, but as soon as I blocked out one of my mates, I didn't think about it. I didn't think about it. I wasn't like, oh, because I was never really like I want to smoke by myself. I always because it was more of like I wanted to do it socially. There were times here and there that I'd want to get faster to bed, so I'd have it, but like it was never really like that. So I don't know.
Bree. Can we hear Bree from here?
We can't hear Bree, but I feel like that's what's got him to where he is now. Is the people that's around
Yeah,
him has
yeah.
really affected the choices you have made,
Yeah,
and then you changed your. I mean, you had one person or whoever it was,
yeah.
one out of the circle, and now you're this bright kid now,
Mm.
and now you got Bree in your life, which is good. Sort you out,
Loving my job.
and
Which
you love
is
your
usually
job.
I usually hate work. I hated work at won't name it, but another sales job, and then fast food. I just never liked fast food work, but that other job I just hated it, and I think it was obviously to do with smoking, but it was also just fake people and stuff like that. But yeah, no, I really like this is the first time I've loved one of my jobs. Like I actually there's some days that I'm actually excited to go to work because everyone has like a good vibe. My manager's really nice. Like even my manager's manager.
Say
Is it-
you had a shit day at work. Say you love work. Life has been good right now.
Yeah,
Say you had a shit day at work,
yeah.
and then you had
Well, I had a shit day at work yesterday because it was just I had to close 3 days in a row.
nice.
But
Does it ever? Do you ever feel tempted or whatever, just to be like, oh, let's just go and
smoke.
smoke or anything? Do you ever have?
I don't know. I don't think about it anymore, only because I've got her, and like I just come to her, and then that's fine. I knew it, like if I have a shit day at work,
Mm.
then she cheers me up. So I
That's
don't.
good.
That's like this is my drug right there.
Bree, come and sit down for a minute. Quick.
Jump in,
Bree,
Time. Okay, we
got 5 minutes left.
5 minutes
I got
left.
3. What would you have dated the old Emerson?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I think I don't know.
No, she wouldn't.
Would you dated a stoned Emerson, stoned all the time, not motivated? Let's be honest.
Just be honest. I'm not gonna get mad.
Talking to the mic.
I don't know if he really was that unmotivated, then probably not. Sorry.
It's good to know.
No,
Yeah.
you let's face it, you wouldn't have.
I wouldn't date myself if I was. But yeah, I wouldn't date if you know. Like I agree. Like like if she, I mean, I would never see her like that. But if she was, no, that's just like the biggest, like I guess, turn off. Is like someone that's just don't know what they're doing with their life, smoking every day. Like I agree. So I'm not,
What was the Emerson that made you? What was it about Emerson that you attracted you to him? Because now that you've heard what he was like before, you know, and it's good to know, like I mean, obviously he's good looking, but like not just that.
Like his dad.
Definitely
Like
not
his
that. But yeah,
Oh, he was just. Our first impression was me getting into his car so we could, like, that was the first time we met, and he was just so genuine when, like, we met, and like, yeah, it was a bit hard to start a conversation at first because we didn't know what to talk about. But
spoke
after,
about the kangaroos that I saw on the way there, because it was bloody 50 minutes away.
but like after we got the conversation going, like we really, like
Yeah.
got along, and it was easy to talk to each other,
Mm.
and
So if he would have been stoned, you wouldn't have got any words out of him. He would just be, "Hey, Bree, I'm in a joint." So, what do you think about the story now? You've heard a lot of it.
it doesn't change my views on him.
Yeah.
Does it make him more impressive, or is it?
I'm proud that he got over it, and like he's in a better place now.
yeah. Are you proud that you're one of his good apples that's helping him? You know, are you proud to be like, you know what? He said that Bree's my drug now. She's my happiness. You know, how does that make you feel?
Makes me proud and happy to have him as well. He treats me so well. I'm very lucky.
Love that.
And one more question, Em, before we finish up.
Yo.
So there's probably, because we have such a large subscriber base and a lot of
Yeah.
listeners, we're up there. Stephen Bartlett, watch out.
Mom.
What, Mrs. Yups, I'm so sorry. He makes me swear, gets me so angry. You could understand that. So there could be kids out there that have just started smoking, same age as you, had world ahead of them. I mean, what do you say to those kids now that you've been through it? You've gone from, you know, like zero to hero to deadbeat, no, to to where you are today. Like, what do you say to these kids? What advice do you give them? Straight up.
It's hard. It's too much of like a on the spot question. Like, I don't know. Like I say to heaps of people, like it, like you, like I don't know. It's not like a thing that you can just say, like, because I know if I got told it was bad by heaps of my mates that I lost. Like, it was like they were like, oh, like you should probably quit. Like, it's like that. Like, your mate, like, he's not a good influence in that. I didn't listen.
So how do you make them listen? What if Bree comes home with some weed and she says, look, I wouldn't mind, I want to start smoking and get into it. I mean, no, what do you seriously say to her? Like, be honest and go.
Well, it's different from Bree because I just say no.
So what if one of your mates comes over and says, I'm keen to start smoking? What do you say to them that you've been through that gets them off it?
No, listen. Listen to the people around you. Listen to people like you realize who really like is your friends and stuff when you go through shit like that, because like you I lost all my mates. Like, I just had like pretty much like 1 to 5 mates like back then. Like Bree always says, because I've got all my old mates back, like, and it's so good, like Diesel, Krennic, like all the other boys, like, and Bree can't keep count with like all these people I'm out and they're like saying hi now because they know I'm not a deadbeat anymore and they can actually speak to me and stuff, like. But I don't know how to put it if someone, like, if there was a kid and like you could tell like he's going through a shit stage where he's smoking and stuff, there's nothing you can really say, like it's just more so listen. Like, I wish like back then I listened to you guys. I wish I stopped when I should have, because I could have done better at school, which I still, I was never really a school person, but I could have done better at school. It was more so the mates that I lost. Like, that was, I think, the biggest thing that I regretted was having such a good friend group. And I remember all the good times I had, and then I lost all of them. Like, it was just such a quick switch up. Like, and then at the time, I didn't really care because I was smoking. And then when I stopped smoking, I started realizing all these mates that I'd left behind, almost so they left me. No, like, in a way, like, you know, they left me behind because they had to get on with their shit.
Well,
like,
they tried and they tried and they tried and you didn't listen, and then...
Yeah, because I remember one of my mates, he like, I didn't realize that he like cared for me so much, and like there was one point apparently he was me and my mate that smoked, and then 2 of my other mates in the car, and he was driving us home, and he dropped me home and was dropping the other guy home. And while he dropped me home, he was speaking to him on the way. He's like, "You're a bad influence to Emerson," and all this shit. And I only got told this like the other day by one of my other mates that was in the car with Diesel. And I was like, fuck. Like, and you're like, oh shit, but I've got him back as a mate, so nothing for me to worry. I just never knew he like cared for me as a mate that much. You don't really care about anything when you're smoking. You just fucking worry about the bag of weed.
Brilliant. I'm proud of you, son.
Yeah,
Seriously.
Thank you.
Great job.
Yeah, thank you.
And thanks for coming on Joe Blow.
Joe Blow.
Real, raw, unfiltered conversations with everyday